Hey YouTube, what's going on? Snowflakey's Emos here today with another deck profile. This is my Master Duel Starry Night deck profile. Starry Nights in general is just easily becoming one of my favorite decks of all time. Really cool looking cards and just a really fun trap-based deck to play with cards that just simply generate small bits of advantage over multiple turns. They synergize really well with a lot of good trap cards, a lot of powerful floodgates they can make use of, and they got some archetype exclusive trap cards that are a lot of fun to use. And yeah, everything about this deck just speaks to me. Have a lot of fun playing it. With that said, let's get into the cards. Starting off with our monsters, I am playing 3 copies of Starry Night Rail. Pretty nice, it's got 1800 attack, and when it's normal summoned, we can add a Starry Night spell or trap from the deck to our hand, so that's pretty good. Searches all those. And of course, we can banish this card from our graveyard to target a Starry Night monster in the graveyard other than Rail and special summon it. Both great effects. Rail is just incredible. 1800 attack, searches cards, special summons things from the graveyard. Pretty nice. Next up, we're playing 3 of Starry Night Orbital. Orbital is pretty cool. It's got a quick effect. You can target a light monster you control and tribute it, that does include itself, to set a Starry Night spell or trap directly from your deck, which is pretty sweet. Then if a face-up level 7 light dragon monster you control returns to the hand, which is something that happens a lot in this deck, while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. So that's pretty nice. You play Orbital, you tribute it to get a Starry Night spell or trap set on the field. Then when your Starry Dragon bounces back to a hand, Orbital comes back out, contribute itself off again to get another card. So it just pulls cards out of the deck, comes back, so to continually do that, continually loop it. And it's just awesome. Very good card to have. Definitely want 3 of it because we want to see it. And next, I'm playing 1 copy of Starry Night Flamel. Just a nice little addition to have when an opponent's monster declares an attack. You can send this face-up card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 light dragon monster from your hand. But more importantly, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a level 7 light dragon monster you control or is in your graveyard, and return it to your hand. That's nice because if Starry Dragon does happen to hit the graveyard, it's kind of hard to get it back. We are usually playing around the fact that that should almost never happen because of our ability to bounce it back to the hand. But if it does, we can easily search our Starry Night Flamel and just grab a Starry Night Starry Dragon back. And next, we are playing 2 copies of Starry Night Starry Dragon. Big namesake of the deck. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. That's not once per turn, which is pretty cool, and it's definitely easy to activate this card multiple times in a turn. It can't be destroyed by battle with a dark monster or by a dark monster's effects, so that's pretty cool. If you end up getting up against a dark monster deck, they're going to have a really tough time with this guy. And once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a monster, you can banish that opponent's monster until the end phase, and this card can make a second attack in a row. So that's pretty nice, just gets around monsters. Sometimes it lets us push in for life, enough to end the game. So overall, just a pretty good card. 2500 attack, not the highest, but we'll manage. And overall, that's pretty solid. That's it for the monsters, where it's a very trap-heavy deck, as you'll see. Next, moving on to our spell cards, I am playing 2 copies of Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality is just a bit of a consistency tool. Lots of turns where we're going to forego our special summon just to find the right card, aka whichever floodgate we really need to get set up in order to get things going. And of course, using this to find a Rael, which can find our Starry Night Arrival. Just a lot of cards that we definitely want to see, so we'll give up special summoning for a turn to dig 3 cards into our deck and add the one we want. Next, I'm playing 3 Pot of Extravagance. Not a lot of extra deck summoning in this deck. Starry Night, Starry Dragon, we just won on the field. Orbitals, we won a tribute, so really can't afford to use any material there. So we're just going to completely dump our extra deck for Extravagance fodder, banish 6 of those cards, draw 2. That's nice. We definitely want that. Next, I'm playing 3 copies of Starry Night Balefire. Pretty cool. Adds a Starry Night monster or a level 7 light dragon monster, aka your Starry Dragon. From the deck to your hand. Then if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a dark monster, you can special summon a level 7 light dragon monster. So that's pretty cool. Even if that second effect doesn't go off, just searching it is of course great. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Starry Night Ceremony. Pretty cool continuous spell. During your main phase, you can reveal a light fairy monster in your hand, and if you do, add a level 7 light dragon monster in your hand. That's nice. If we see too many of these guys in our opening hand, we normally want to see 1. We can just shuffle 1 back and get our Starry Night Starry Dragon. And then, of course, if our opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon a level 7 light dragon monster from your hand. So that's pretty nice. Special summoning Starry Night Starry Dragon from the hand is what we want to do, because we want to summon him, target a card, and destroy it. that is pretty awesome. And that is it for the spell cards. Next, going into our trap cards, starting off, I got one copy of Fake Trap in here. There's a lot of trap cards in this deck and a lot that we want to protect. On Master Duel, there's a lot more back row decks in general, so you see a lot more people playing things like Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster and just stuff to defeat back row, especially right now where everybody is running around playing Labyrinth. So having a Fake Trap in addition to the Solemn Judgments to protect my back row is just pretty nice because this card can essentially be destroyed as a substitute for trap card or cards that are destroyed, which is pretty cool. Thinking about switching it to Starlight Road and throwing in some Stardust Dragons, which I do believe I have on this account. The only thing about that is that Fake Trap can protect single trap card destruction, whereas Starlight Road requires it to be multiple. So definitely some stuff to play around with there. Next, I'm playing 3 Torrential Tribute. Pretty dang good in this deck because Torrential Tribute is a very powerful trap card. When a monster is summoned, destroy all monsters on the field. You can flip that on an opponent during their combo, and it can be very disruptive. And what's nice about it is it's very easy for our own monsters to dodge getting destroyed, because we can simply just use a card like Starry Night Arrival to bounce Starry Dragon back to our hand. So that it's back to our hand, dodges it, and then we have it in order to summon it again, which is pretty nice. 3 evenly matched. This is just the copium of if I lose the coin flip, have something in so that maybe I can win going second. Definitely a very powerful card right now. It beats a lot of matchups like Labyrinth pretty well. So it's just good to have. You might as well. Next, I'm playing 3 copies of Starry Night Blast. Really great normal trap card. Oh, I wish this was a counter trap, but normal trap is still fine. When your opponent activates a card or effect, return a level 7 Light Dragon monster to the hand, and if you do, negate the effect, and if you do, destroy that card. So that's pretty nice. Given that this is a Starry Night card, it's easily searchable with Rail or Orbital, and essentially a searchable Omni Negate is pretty great, especially one that helps our strategy by putting our dragon back in our hands so that we can summon it again. Very nice to have. Next, 3 Solemn Judgment. Pay half our life points to negate a monster summon or a spell or trap activation. Save this for a crucial moment when our opponent's going to try to out our board or out whatever card is stopping them from playing. We can say no to that. Very powerful. Next, I'm playing 3 copies of Starry Night Arrival. Great continuous trap for the deck. During the main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Either target a level 7 Light Dragon monster and return it to the hand, or special summon a level 7 Light Dragon monster. So this is our main way of getting our dragon back into our hand. Be able to dodge things like Torrential, or if it's in our hand, we can summon it out. It'd be nice if we could use both of those effects per turn, but once per turn is still fine. While it is searchable, we're playing 3 copies of it because we definitely want to see it, and we want to see multiple of these cards. So even if they're searchable, I'm going to play 3 at them so that we get them in our opener. And next up are Floodgates that make this deck really powerful. I'm playing 3 copies of Summon Limit. Summon Limit's nice because neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. Starry Knights don't summon more than twice per turn, so this is just a natural card to go in here because it's going to hose combo matchups. And when we slow the game down, that's when a strategy like this can really take off. And so we'll do it. Next, we're playing a copy of Gozen Match. Only allowed one, but everything we're running here is light. Gozen Match is pretty good in some matchups, and we'll take advantage of that. And last for trap cards, I'm playing 2 copies of There Can Be Only One. Very powerful because all the little guys are fairy monsters, and the dragon is, of course, a dragon. So you can have a rail and a dragon on the same time, and, There Can Be Only One just destroys so many decks that since we can run it and it doesn't hurt us that bad, we might as well because it's going to win us a lot of games. And that is it for the main deck. Extra deck stuff, I don't really have much to show in here because I didn't spend the dust on it because it's not worth it because I barely go into it. But you can just play some good old rank 4 stuff, maybe some link monsters that your little guys can go into, but you'll barely ever go into it in this type of build. So here's a replay to show a little bit of the deck in action. We are going second against an opponent who's playing a Labyrinth, which normally is a pretty dicey situation, but we do have the evenly matched here, so maybe, just maybe, we can survive. They're going to set 2 cards and of course play the Labyrinth field spell, and they're going to get their Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle out of the deck, out of the hand, and pass their turn there. So this is pretty good. I am going to start by playing Starry Night Balefire here. They're going to play Max C here, I guess expecting me to special summon my dragon. so that they can draw cards. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to keep the dragon in my hand, enter battle phase, end the battle phase, play evenly match. The lady here is going to do her thing. Now they're going to chain Compulse to put Lady back in their hand. That's pretty cool. They can keep Lady and another face down card. Lady Labyrinth is of course going to set the Big Welcome, which is the card they're going to choose to want to keep. Now, of course, we have my turn going. Not a lot to special summon, so I'm going to dig Pot of Duality for just the right card. Gozen isn't useful here, but Starry Night Arrival is, because we can start special summoning our Starry Night Starry Dragon. We're going to use Orbital's effect right here, and we're going to set the Starry Night Blast so that we have an answer to effects that are being activated next turn. Set our 3 cards and pass the turn. At the end phase here, they are just going to drop Lady Labyrinth because the conditions were meant to do so, and it's on the field. So the main phase is active. They set a card, and I'm going to flip my Starry Night Arrival. That allows me to summon Starry Night Dragon, use its effect to pop the card they just set down. And of course, when they play Big Welcome Labyrinth here, I have the ability to play Starry Night Blast and just put this right back in my hand. Now they will be using Lady Labyrinth to set another card. Very powerful. What is that? Another Big Welcome. Ah, well. That Big Welcome's gone. Their face down is gone, which in this was D barrier. Not very useful in this matchup, but you never know. And of course, that's going to get us Orbital back out. I can use Orbital's effect real quick. Set another Starry Night Blast, so I have another negate ready to go right off the rip. Now they are going to put Lady Labyrinth into attack. But because I have Flamel in my hand here, I can discard the Flamel, summon Starry Night Dragon, use its effect to pop the back row. And what's nice here is because Labyrinths are dark monsters, it's going to attack, and Starry Night Starry Dragon is not going to get destroyed. Now we only have Lady Labyrinth here to deal with. I'm going to play Starry Night Balefire, and I am going to chain Flamel, banishing it from the grave. What's this going to do is going to put Starry Night Starry Dragon back in my hand, which is pretty cool, because now when a Balefire resolves, I will add my rail. But now that Starry Night Starry Dragon is my hand, I control no monsters and they control dark monsters, so I'm going to get to special summon Starry Night Starry Dragon for free. Now Starry Night Starry Dragon is here. It can activate its effect. It can pop Lady Labyrinth. We can summon Orbital to get another card, and our opponent calls it there. I've gained a lot of advantage, and they have lost everything. So overall, pretty cool game. So that is it for the Starry Night deck profile. Overall, definitely a deck that I love to play, one of my favorite decks in my arsenal. It's a very simple deck, the cards, mostly just grab one other card. You slowly generate advantage over turn. You get to use lots of trap cards. I really like the loop of summoning dragon and bouncing it back and forth from the hand. It's pretty fun. So overall, I like this deck, and the floodgates make it pretty decent. I've certainly gotten to Plat 5 with it before. So it's at least that good. Don't think you could go much farther with it, but still, it's fun to play. Glad to have it. Not a ton of dust either. A lot of SRs in it and whatnot. So overall, I appreciate y'all checking out the deck profile. I'll catch you in the next one.